a.m. Hurricane Irma update. With us today to provide updates are the Volusia County Chair Ed Kelly, Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood, Volusia County Manager Jim Deneen, and Volusia County Emergency Management Director Jim Judge. We want to let everybody know that the Emergency Operations Center is at a level 1 activation and will remain at that level through the duration of the storm. We want to point out to people that no matter which way the track seems to change, we know that we're going to have hurricane conditions here. We do not want people to go to the beach today. We are flying the double red flag, and we've asked beachside residents to evacuate. We do have lifeguards patrolling, but again, we do not want people to go to the beach. And after the storm, please wait for word that it is safe to visit the beach, because there may be a lot of debris that is unsafe and in the water. Okay, at this time, I'd like to introduce County Chair Ed Kelly.
Thank you, Joanne. I just want everyone out there to know that all of Volusia County council members are receiving these updates as we meet. You may not be able to reach them all because most of us are also actively involved in helping. But what I think is very important is that you recognize and know for the community CIC, that phone number is 866-345-0345, and you will be able to reach from now until the end of the storm a live person to communicate with. It's very important. That's the most important thing we can do, because while you may be reaching out to a council member or someone that you think should know, this way you can get the information directly from them. We want you to also download the emergency management app. That's very easy to do. Just go to the emergency management on Facebook and Twitter, Volusia County Emergency Info. You can get everything that I have, everything that Jim Judge has, everything that the county manager has. All of it's right there for you to help you in this issue that we're having with Irma. So we're also providing updates on www.volusia.org, and you can find it there. So you can be informed and be safe during this storm. And now I'd like to introduce our county manager, Jim Deneen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, we're now at the stage where the planning stage is over. It's now the implementation of your action plan. I can't be more, I don't want to stress that. I want to absolutely stress that to the max. It's time for your action plan, whatever you decided you were going to do. If you're going to go to one of our shelters, they are already open. What we suggest is that you make sure whatever plan you're going to do, that you act on it, and that what we would like to see is everyone to get ready to take on the storm, to hunker down by tonight. The other thing is, if you worked on your action plan, and like a lot of people, they really did take this serious and you got ready, and especially if you're going to stay in your neighborhood, one thing we'd also like you to do, if you have a little time, because we're still waiting, the storm hasn't reached here yet, we ask you to take a look around, maybe especially to your neighbors. If you know anyone in your neighborhood that maybe is elderly or has ambulatory problems in terms of being able to get around, if they need help, maybe even just getting their phone number in case they run into a problem so you can help each other. So we do ask you to take a look and help your neighbors. We do want to remind everyone that the mandatory evacuation is in place, and it's for residents on the beachside, low-lying areas, and in RVs, mobile homes, and manufactured homes. Residents who stay will not be physically removed under this mandatory evacuation. However, once conditions deteriorate, emergency services will not be provided to those who fail to evacuate from these various locations. Now, one other thing I thought you might find interesting, and this is always the greatest worry we have in addition to personal safety, it's what happens with the power system, because everybody depends on that. We've gotten from FP&L a statewide overview from them I thought you might find interesting. They are anticipating widespread destruction throughout FP&L's service area with significant impacts to mostly densely populated areas as a result of Hurricane Irma. As of this morning, FP&L has more than 16,000 workers from nearly 30 states, including as far away as California, dedicated to planning and preparing to respond to Hurricane Irma. They will continue to add resources as they work with their mutual assistance partners. But obviously, we have other areas that also have drawn away resources in the state of Texas. They have activated more than 20 staging sites throughout the service area where restoration crews, trucks, and equipment are being stationed. FP&L expects 3.4 million customers. I want to repeat this. They expect 3.4 million customers may lose power as a result of Irma, and they could experience prolonged outages based on the current forecast. That was a message we tried to give you a little earlier, which is that this storm is a more severe storm. It's going to cause more damage. This is going to be more significant damage to power systems, and the system's being stretched to the max in terms of resources to bring that power around. So while I thought, did an excellent job last year with the power companies coordinating and bringing power back on quickly, they are going to be stretched to the max, and we may have to wait longer than we would like to get power back. So be prepared. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Jim Judge, Emergency Management Director for Volusia County. Currently, we are under a hurricane warning, which means that we can expect hurricane conditions here in Volusia County as we go forward with the storm. The projected conditions continue to change with each forecast. Spoke with the National Weather Service earlier this morning, and already that 6:15 update was a little bit dated. So encourage you all to keep tuned to the noon news, the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock news. Continue to watch these forecasts because, again, conditions will change as they usually do with these events. So, again, very, very important. Conditions will begin to deteriorate Saturday night. So by tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock time frame, we can expect those squally, windy, rainy conditions. And then once we get into the midnight time frame, they're going to continue to deteriorate overnight. We have also increased the threat for tornadoes for Volusia County and the surrounding areas. So, that's something to take into consideration as well. And conditions we don't expect are going to improve until sometime midday, early afternoon on Monday. We can still expect between 8 and 12 inches of rain, possibly 15 inches in isolated areas. And again, these conditions are subject to change again as the storm's movement. We are continuing to watch and wait for that right turn and continue to watch the models. We are in close contact with the National Weather Service out of Melbourne, not just watching the updates, but by phone, making sure that we have the latest and greatest information to provide to the residents of Volusia County. Thank you. And next, I'd like to introduce Sheriff Chitwood.
Thank you, Jim. I just want to reiterate what Jim just said. This is a dynamic and fluid situation, so it's imperative that you stay in touch with the media to figure out what's going on, and in particular our website. Curfew will be put in place from 9 p.m. Sunday night till 9 p.m. Monday or 9 a.m. Monday morning. We're asking everybody to give us that 12-hour window. That's 9 p.m. Sunday night till 9 a.m. Monday morning. Once the storm passes, we will then alert folks when it's able to get out and about and begin to resume your daily activities. Deputies will use discretion when they encounter anybody during that curfew hour. We encourage employers to let their employees be at home or come to work early Sunday and have them stay at their place of work until the worst of the storm passes. We really don't want people out Sunday. We're asking for your cooperation. We do expect there will be hurricane gusts and flooding, and we want you to stay at the safest place and shelter in place. The bridges will be locked down as the conditions deteriorate. Once they hit 39 miles an hour, we'll shut the bridges down. That's tropical force winds. We looked at originally it was going to be 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's probably going to be a little bit later, because as the storm is now anticipated to arrive a little bit later. And once the storm passes, law enforcement will determine when it's safe to open the bridges. If there is limited access due to heavy damage on the beach side, I want to reiterate that, if there is limited access because there's heavy damage on the beach side, we will be checking identification before you can get back on the beach. That identification has to be something that proves you live at that residence. So an example would be if you have a Pennsylvania driver's license, but yet you live at 123 Main Street, you should have a utility bill or something with you so that we can verify and let you back onto the peninsula. And that's only in the event that we have damage up on the peninsula.
One final note, I want to thank the media for being here today, trying to get the word out. And there is one other concern that we have, and that is we all have our fingers crossed that if you've been watching the latest models, each time it showed a little better, maybe the storm will be less destructive to us. But But we don't know that's true. This thing could wobble. Do not let your guard down. Be ready. And in addition, if it does move off and it's less destructive of us, we may want to say a prayer for the other Floridians, because there's going to be some other parts of the state that are, the bullseye is now on them. Thank you very much.
Okay, at this time, we will open it up to any questions, and I would also like to mention that we have Patricia Boswell, the administrator with the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County, here as well. So, any questions?
Sheriff, once more you said, people are very concerned about the curfew. So just to clarify, because we had said earlier yesterday, so effective Sunday night, 9 p.m. until Monday morning, 9
a.m., correct. And we're asking for your cooperation. You know, the safest place for you to be is sheltered down. We don't want you to get out there and then become a casualty, and then we have to respond to get out there to rescue you because you just couldn't, you had to get out there and create a situation that then you endanger the lives of first responders. So all we're asking is for 12 hours of cooperation from our community.
And also, you did say, though, that you'll be using gentle hands, meaning you're there to help them.
The objective here isn't to arrest people and throw them in jail. The objective here, the number one priority is to keep everybody safe. I think everybody up here and everybody in the county, at the end of this, want to say we didn't lose a single county resident's life, and that's what we want.
Sheriff?
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I just want to confirm, when will you shut the bridges down? At what wind speed?
The wind speed will be 39 miles an hour. That's tropical force winds, and then the cities in which the bridges are in, Ormond, Daytona, Port Orange, they will then shut the bridges down until the wind speed subsides below 39 miles an hour.
Okay.
The way it is tracking out, according to Mr. Judge, is it looks like probably be later in the morning or in the early afternoon when we expect to get those wind speeds.
Okay.
Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay, any other questions? All right, we just want to remind people again, on Facebook, Volusia County Emergency Management, and again on Twitter, and then website, volusia.org/pin, and that's where the latest information from the Emergency Operations Center will come from. All right, thank you very much, and be safe.